You became an entrepreneur to make money. And don't forget, you became an entrepreneur to have a life. This is the Savvy Podcast, helping entrepreneurs connect with the vision that's bigger than themselves. Learn how to stop trading in your wife or husband and kids for your success. Get ready to have your beliefs about traditional leadership methods challenged and learn how to enjoy massive productivity gains and in less time than you can believe. This is the Savvy Podcast.
Welcome to the Savvy Podcast. I'm Tim Marshall, and today I have the privilege of hosting Brad Hart for a brief chat. Welcome, Brad.
Thank you so much, Tim. Thank you for having me. I appreciate everybody listening.
Fantastic. So firstly, before we jump into a brief intro, can you just give me a little bit of an insight to whereabouts on this entertaining planet we call Earth you're currently residing?
Yeah, I'm in San Diego, California, and I've been here about 6 years now. I love it, and it's definitely one of the nicer places I've lived, and not a bad place to be quarantined if you have to be.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a crazy old world at the moment, isn't it? So picking the spot right is a key one. So, Brad, extensive experience, 20 years as an entrepreneur, 16 years managing wealth. Brad's committed to entrepreneurs, investors reaching their full potential. So have focused on so they can focus on the grand challenges of our time. So sounds fascinating. You've co-leaded masterminds with 52 people in China and Hong Kong. You've held mastermind groups in Bali, Italy, Greece, all over the US. So, Brad, you're a bit of a mastermind guru here, aren't you? So I'd love to get into some questions shortly. You've got to build a mastermind, BAM for short. Yep. Your favorite initiative?
Yeah, I love helping people build masterminds, Tim. It's really my favorite thing. I've done so many things over the years, and I keep coming back to masterminds. It's really wonderful.
Fantastic. So adding 100K to their business profit per year with only 5 to 10 hours of ongoing monthly commitment is something that sounds really, really exciting and will be fascinating for the audience to hear. So we've got the format, 7 questions, 7 minutes. What do you reckon? Should we jump straight in?
Yeah, let's do it, Tim. I'm excited.
Fantastic. Right, let's just click this timer here and ready to get going. So number one, who's your ideal client?
My ideal clients are coaches, consultants, experts, speakers, authors, and entrepreneurs of general sorts. Anybody that wants to increase their income and impact in less time, and they have a services-based business typically.
Beautiful, beautiful. And number two, what's the problem you solve for them?
So a lot of coaches and consultants and they're on that income roller coaster, right? They market and sell a bunch of client time, and then they're doing the client time, and they deliver it, and then they're back to square one. So I want to help them get off of that wagon wheel, and also really help them to create a scalable, leverageable system that's still high touch and high impact, so they can keep their prices high and they're not racing to the bottom. So, I think the world today is very competitive, but it's also, there's more people that need more things than ever, and more people are willing to learn from individuals with expertise than ever. And on top of that, you don't even need to be an expert to run a mastermind. You just have to be committed to solving people's problems, and you could bring in experts like that one you mentioned in my bio that we went to China and Hong Kong. It's co-led because I wasn't the expert. I just helped, enroll the people into the possibility of, hey, let's go to China and Hong Kong and learn about how to source products for Amazon. And from that, I was able to launch my own agency, which ended up doing really well. So I got paid to learn. People asked better questions than I did, took better notes than I did. And I got to really build a relationship in a business sense with that expert. And it grew into a really big thing.
Oh, that sounds so exciting. So question number 3, what are the typical symptoms people experience with that problem?
Yeah. So
briefly.
Yeah, I think the income and impact piece is probably the biggest one. Is they just feel like they are being run ragged by having 20, 30 client calls a week. It's a lot, and it's a lot for anybody. I'm down to, I'm embarrassed to say it sometimes, but I work less than 5 hours a week with my clients.
Yes.
And we have more systems and processes and additional help with, we have a pretty big program. We have, a couple hundred clients, some crazy thing like that.
Yes.
So for us, it's actually, really well streamlined, and, our sales and marketing systems are dialed in. And once you're there, it's really not so much about what effort you can create. It's about creating the right system and working on that system. So that's what's been really exciting. So if you are experiencing a lack of time or a lack of freedom or a lack of income, then I think that's really the solution.
Fantastic. So we're going really well here on time. We've got 4 minutes left in here. So
great.
What we're on to question number 4. So what's the common mistakes people make when trying to solve that problem?
Yeah. So when it comes to leveraging, systematizing, and really creating a machine, right, if you will, I believe like nature, and whether you believe it's designed or whether it just kind of figured itself out.
Yes.
It's a series of systems, and a lot of these systems are very complex. And the only way to really approach a complex system is to think in terms of complexity, right? It's to focus on the things you can control, let go of the things you can't control, and try to find the ways to make everything streamlined. And it's not an overnight process. It doesn't happen one day, and you don't get it right on the first try. But over time, it's like, dripping on a rock. Eventually you wear a hole through the rock. I think that patience piece and that discipline and that consistency and commitment, because guess what? I'm 6 years into this business and I've run 3 already, and I want to give up sometimes too, but you can't let that, midterm burnout affect your long-term goal or your long-term priorities.
Beautiful, beautiful. We talk about within our network about living the best human that you can be, and this sounds very, very similar and aligned to what you're talking about. That that energy level, where being aware of it's dropping below that 50%. That there's things that are going to make you feel that fear and anxiety. So
it's a weird thing. The less I do, the more I make now.
That's
the game. At a certain level, you get to the mid 6-figure mark, and you got to do less. You got to do less, or it won't work.
No, brilliant, loving it. So question number 5: what's one valuable free action that the audience can implement that will help them solve that problem?
Well, absolutely. I mean, not to be a shill, but I wrote a book. I spent 2 years writing it. It's not a crappy ebook I threw together over a weekend. So, the writing, rewriting, and editing took 2 years and 10 years to learn it all. So I'd really love for you to check it out. And I have a free plus shipping offer for anybody that wants to do that, or if they're just looking for a PDF version and they don't want to wait for the shipping, that's totally fine too. So you can check that out at 8minutemastermind.com. And it's my book called The 8-Minute Mastermind: How to Solve Any Problem, Travel Anywhere for Free, and add $100,000 to your business in 5 to 10 hours a month. So you'll get some free resources. It's a cheat sheet to build a mastermind. It's 101 questions for mastermind facilitators, and it's 50 hot seat recordings. And I think there's actually a few more than 50 of me actually working with people. So you can get a sense of what it's like and decide if it's for you. And if you want to check out the book, you can go to 8minutemastermind.com or 8minutemastermind.com/PDF to grab the PDF version.
Beautiful.
We'll also send you the PDF if you buy the regular book, so you don't have to wait.
Fantastic. So there we go. We've jumped right in and answered question 6 as well, which is fantastic. So we move on to question number 7, and we've got 1 minute and 40 seconds roughly left. So from all your experience, what's the most valuable free tip that you can give people?
Yeah, I think the most valuable free tip is know who you are. And that's not an overnight thing, right? It's like learning consistently who you are, what shaped you, what you're great at, what you suck at, and really like leaning into those strengths and maybe compensating with other people for those weaknesses and learning how to build teams has been a game changer for me. Like I'm really incredible at certain things, like world class. And then certain things that I could be good at, but there's people that are way better than me. And there's certain things that I just suck at and I shouldn't bother with, and it's okay. Like you're just going to stress yourself out. So find the way that it works for you. There's a lot of really great personality tests, which can point you in the right direction, but it's really a self-discovery process and a personal development process. That's a consistent thing that you got to be committed to. And it's not the easy, sexy advice that everybody wants to say, do this and you'll make $1 million. Because guess what? Even if you did, you wouldn't be able to handle it, right? There's a bunch of people that money would ruin them. Just look at any, 19-year-olds, teen bopper celebrity that got $100 million dropped on them, and take a look at their life and how happy or unhappy they are, and you'll get the idea. So it's about growing into the person who can have the things that you want. Life gives you exactly what you want, but you have to become the person who can have it first.
Yeah, beautiful. And focusing on what best use of energy and time is the key thing which we talk about within our group as well, which is something that, if it's not best use of energy in my time, there's someone else that can help me with that. So it's quite a fascinating experience. Oh, this has been great fun, Brad, having you on board this, and really fascinating. And I'm looking forward to the audience experiencing this and asking some questions. So it's been really great.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks. And if you guys have just more questions about masterminds too, I'll have Tim include it. But there's a link. If you go to marbles.link/masterminds, there's also a great resource there, because I get thousands of questions about masterminds. So I put the top 11 into an article, and it's free content and value for you there as well.
Yeah, sure.
Marbles.link/masterminds.
Beautiful. And both links will be available on the podcast page, so people will be able to click and go straight through. So Excellent. Thanks for coming along. I really, really appreciate your time, Brad. And it's been great chatting, and hopefully we'll chat again in the future.
My pleasure, Tim. Thanks everybody for listening. Have a blessed day.
Fantastic.
You've been listening to the Savvy Podcast, helping entrepreneurs connect with a vision that's bigger than themselves, stopping the trading in their wife and husband and kids for their success. We hope you've gotten some useful and practical information from this show, and we hope you had fun along the way. We know we did. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, if you want to know more about the Savvy Method, hit the website at www.thesavvymethod.com. We'll see you again soon.